Hey everyone, it's your boy, looking good over here, looking sharp, and we're going to be talking about a singer, a songwriter, a multi-instrumentalist, a visionary who goes by the name of Jered Threatin. This guy's been making music headlines for the past week or so now because apparently this guy has done, honestly, what a lot of musicians have done before him since the advent of DIY promotion on the internet, and that is used a variety of different tricks and bots and so on and so forth to make music listeners, make really anybody who runs across this little platform that he's built himself, think that the man has a legitimate and a large fan base, an actual real life audience. And this includes tens of thousands of Facebook followers. This includes videos, faked videos on the internet of like, oh, this is like what his live show looks like, even though the sound just sounds like the studio track of his song, but like blown out and distorted as if you're hearing it like recorded into the phone because it's the live setting. Oh, and by the way, the footage is really grainy and crappy, and you can't even see the band on the stage. But yeah, it's real life live footage, I swear. So apparently, this man successfully used this trickery to convince a bunch of venues over in the UK to book him. Guy had a tour manager, guy had a booking agent that these venues were in contact with, and this man with his band showing up to these venues for these performances, and miraculously, even though the booking agent is saying that, hey man, sold 180 tickets here, sold 200 plus tickets here, sold this many tickets here, the show starts and literally no one is there outside of maybe like some guests from the opening act, like who were on the guest list or something like that. But outside of that, no one is there. And some of the venues at first were looking at this like, oh man, this guy's like getting ripped off. Something bad has happened to this guy. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right. Something crazy is going on here. And surely Jered can't be at the center of all of this. He can't be some kind of long-haired metalhead Dr. Evil just masterminding all of this from behind the scenes, right? He can't be the actor, the director, and the writer. But my friends, Jered is in fact a Tommy Wiseau of metal deception, not to sort of put him exactly in the same light as one of the greatest directors of all time, because Tommy didn't need to deceive people to look at his movie, though he did need to do that to make it, but I digress. Read the book, The Disaster Artist, if you love the movie The Room. It's amazing. Anyway, so Jered has a lot of media online of songs and music videos and this cute little interview series that he has starred in where he's kind of talking about the music that he's made and his artistic process. And I thought we would have a little bit of fun and just kind of go through this stuff and try to get into the mind of Jered Threatin. It's also worth noting that just a few hours before I decided to record this video, Jered has seen fit to take to Twitter to brag about his great musical bamboozle. What is fake news? I turned an empty room into an international headline. If you are reading this, you are part of the illusion, because Jered is basically just this giant puppet master on top of the music industry, controlling all of our thoughts, all of our actions, all of our preferences and beliefs. If you trick people into booking you, and then you show up and nobody's there to see you play, but yet you perform anyway, like what does that even say? Like, how do you even derive anything out of that artistically or personally? You're just doing like band practice on a stage in front of people who don't want to be there because nobody's there. The bouncers don't have anyone to bounce. The bartender doesn't have anyone to serve. The person who's doing the door doesn't have any heads to count or tickets to take or anything. So you're basically wasting everybody's time in this really selfish way just so you can play lead singer. So, we're going to get into the magic of this video right now. We're going to kind of go through this interview series that Jered had posted about himself and his creative process and his new album, and see if we can kind of glean any interesting artistic visionary nuggets out of his words of wisdom here, and see if Jered can kind of teach us to be the same kind of amazing, talented scammers that he is, and see if we can kind of scam our own way to the top in his heavy metal pyramid scheme that he's got going over here.
I knew from a young age that I was going to be a solo artist.
That's a really peculiar thing to say. Like, how young were you when you knew, you know what, man, I'm just going to be a solo artist. There's so many paths for me in life, but solo artistry is really the path that I have chosen. It's my calling. I did not choose this life. It chose me.
Much quicker for me to just go into the studio, record all the instruments myself, than it is to bring in my backing band to perform those things.
Oh, okay. It's easier to just play things on your own when you're a multi-instrumentalist than it is to teach those things to other musicians and then have them play them. Okay. I mean, that's a really astute observation. I don't think any musician ever in the music industry has ever come to before in the history of popular music. I think what Jered has stumbled upon here could quite possibly be a new business model, a new way forward for metal music, really for any kind of genre whatsoever. This guy's truly a visionary of musical creation and production. I also love the set that he's pulled together here. It's very dramatic. The thick, wonderfully lit sheets make the room look like an unfinished art studio, but it's also, you know, it's kind of shabby chic. You know, there were a lot of music videos in the 90s shot on sets that looked a little bit like this shabby chic look. So it's quite tasteful and a bit of a throwback, just like Jered's whole aesthetic.
To me, the me playing every instrument thing is what I know exactly.
What are we learning here? What are we saying? What are we getting from this interview? This interview, if it's even an interview, he's probably staring off camera at nothing. He's pretending someone else is interviewing him, just like he's pretending people are going to come out to his show. This sounds like a kid doing a book report in front of his 5th grade class, but he didn't read the book. So he's basically trying to fill the air with as much non-important information as possible to make it seem like you're saying something interesting, you're saying something of substance, you're saying something that people really want to hear. No one's interested in whether or not you decided to have other musicians play on your record as opposed to you just playing all the instruments yourself. It's not a curiosity on anyone's mind.
The songs on the album are going to highlight the different instruments and the different things I could do on the different instruments.
Whoa! He knew when he went into the studio, the album was going to feature different instruments and the different things that Jered could do on the different instruments. That's a level of pre-planning I think very few artists actually put into their work before going into the studio. I mean, you'd be surprised, some of the biggest bands out there, Metallica, you know, you interview a guy like James Hetfield just before they're about to record the Black Album. They're like, James, what's going on, buddy? What's going to happen on this new record? He's like, you know, I'm not sure. We're going to go in the studio. You know, maybe some instruments will turn up on the record. Maybe we'll come out of that bitch with a movie. We really have no clue at this point what's going to happen. Maybe we'll score some 3-pointers. Maybe we'll finish building that new shed that I've always wanted in my backyard. But as of right now, I'd say it's about 50-50 as to whether or not instruments and the instruments we've always known Metallica to play turn up on the record at this point. And James, if instruments do turn up on the record, will there be different instruments and will you showcase the different things that you can do on the different instruments?
So in order to do that...
Bass player myself, this is horrible finger form over here, okay? This is terrible finger form. So if you're trying to showcase the different things that you're doing on the different instruments, this is not how you properly finger a bass. That is a sloppy bass finger job right there.
That was the general direction I knew I was going with.
This album cover and the way it's popped up onto the screen just seems like something out of an old Tim and Eric sketch. This just seems like a bad skit. Maybe we are all getting punked. Maybe Jered did really create some fake news and punk all of us, because this really does seem like a modern rendition of Spinal Tap, like for the social media age. Now, I would be remiss if I did not come on here in this video and give you guys at least a little bit of a taste and some commentary on the Jered song Living is Dying itself, as it is his flagship song and immaculately shot music video that does seem to be taking the internet by storm. Let's give it a little bit of a shot. Let's give it a little bit of a taste. Let's see what's going on. Ba-bam. Yes! That kick drum. Oh man, the earth is shaking. Carry on. It's actually not the worst song in the world. It's kind of corny. And obviously Jered thinks very highly of his artistic creation over here, as he really is feeling it. I don't exactly know what he's trying to tell us by doing this, like, stay away from me. I hope these venues don't take any legal action against me. You know, again, I do feel really bad kind of throwing Tommy Wiseau under the bus here, making another comparison, but I really do feel like I'm watching the heavy metal equivalent of a scene from The Room. The really shabby set design, the adherence to a really dark color, all of the terrible curtains, the amateurish everything, and the fact that he is just so deeply sunk into the emotion of this is really incredible to me. It's something to behold. Yes, I love that the clock's hands are going backwards, but the second is going forwards. Why? Who's on the set design crew? Obviously, it's Jered himself, but Jesus Christ, just clip the goddamn second hand off the thing so it's not fucking distracting. Oh, wait, you probably want to use the clock for real afterwards, because the budget of this music video, you basically bought some curtains and some furniture and just, you know, used it as an opportunity to create a music video set. I get it. Dude, could I be in this fucking music video? Oh, living is dying. I also love the old school look of the clock, very archaic Roman numerals and everything. I get it. You know, it goes with the old theme of, you know, all the long curtains and so on and so forth. It looks really, I guess, anachronistic in a way to have kind of a metalhead amongst all of this interior design. Ooh, 2018 best prop use in a music video goes to Jered Threatin. Jered Threatin, best prop in a music video. Yeah, it's just hit me now. I feel like this guy is the bizarro version of Adam from Your Movie Sucks. He seems a lot skinnier and more self-serious and obviously deceptive, not as nice and as friendly and as trustworthy as Adam. Much worse taste, both in music, but also probably movies and film and set design and so on and so forth. So I do think it is interesting that I'm seeing so many parallels between these two individuals in terms of their baseline looks and talents, playing many different instruments and so on and so forth. But you just basically have this evil, bizarro version right here. I worry for Adam's safety. Hashtag protect your movie sucks. Oh, it's going faster! It's going faster! Whoa! The hourglass is totally run out. Time is up, boy. Time is up. And there he is, forever staring into that broken piece. Oh, eyes closed. Eyes closed. All right, everyone. I think that is going to be it for our deep dive into the world of Jered Threatin. Hopefully, all of you have had a good time and have gotten a lot out of this video. I love you very much and believe in you very much. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Don't scam anybody. Don't be dishonest with anybody or anything. You know, be nice to everybody. Say truthful things, okay? Say truthful things. And we will catch you in the next video. Love you forever. Excuse me. Make sure to cut that out.